Good afternoon, welcome to the Everton Daily Live. It's Monday, the 5th of January. Everton have been whacked again at home. Lost 4 of the last 6 home games. Battered every time we played it. Depression, really. Very depressing against the team who, they don't get me wrong, they played well and probably better than us, but it was a game going into it. I was hopeful we'd win. Less hopeful when I seen the team, but I was hopeful we'd win. But to defend as badly as we did, you're never going to get any results in the Premier League. No. And it was a shambles all the way, wasn't it? From before the game, sirens going off for 15 minutes or whatever it was because someone couldn't press a button, and the team followed it.
Culture.
Yeah.
It's all about culture.
Really bad.
Clearly, it doesn't matter whether the MC can say people's names right. It doesn't matter if he gets out of sync with, what's happening. It doesn't matter we get 5 minutes of a siren, that starts just before players come out.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, Baz. Unless you think they're all related to culture of, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter that people they've got creating big queues on Regent Road.
Yeah.
At half two. Doesn't matter. Just to get in a wall.
What the hell are those metal detectors for? And was the third one on the nearest hole in the wall broken, or did they not have enough staff, or what was it? Who knows? None of it matters, Baz, because it's all little things, so they don't matter.
Frustrating.
Unfortunately, we've had a bit of snow.
And a lot more to come.
And a little teeny weeny little snowball gets bigger if it rolls down a hill. Sure, and it can pick up such a pace that you can't stop it. So somebody needs to grab the chain and reassert within our football club that it does matter. And if that means you get a reputation for being a pedantic, attention to detail, drive everyone mad for a while type of behaviour, then that's what's needed. Because these things, as they do, they infect everywhere.
And that's stupid.
They infect everywhere.
Operation, what's this all about? You don't hear it any other ground.
It's painful to hear as well.
And I've never been in a ground when I've heard that, but you would think there's an obligation to do it. But I don't know if it's a Liverpool City Council thing or whatever, but,
Well, if it is, tell them to piss off until they learn how to sort transport out.
And, we've still got all the challenges around congestion in concourse areas, and I don't know if the people in Club View finally got what they paid for, or, I saw somebody complaining.
Has that been sorted?
I don't know. If people are out there, I don't know. I could ask Julie, I guess, and see.
Yeah.
You were in Village Street, but, I saw some people complaining Village Street isn't what they were sold. Things like that. And the guy accountable for it is left and put it on his out of office. I'm not here no more. Bye. Which
has
is
he left of his own accord, or has he been chased?
Who knows? But the way you have a person with chief in front of their job leaving the business isn't by sending the person an email and getting told, I'm not here no more. Yeah, it's just all about, someone needs to get a grip, and almost get the club operating in their own image. And it's Angus, I guess we're talking about. And that is, these details do matter. And the fan experience is not great.
That's rubbish.
And if you lose, as you say, multiple games at home, and you can laud the manager for having great away results, but actually the rump of fans don't go to away matches. If you had a binary event, you can win all your away games or you can win all your home games. What do you choose? Win all the home games, right? Yeah. And he kicked it off with a very disappointing team selection. We could have all predicted it. We all thought that's what would happen. We all didn't want it to, but it did. And I'd love to be inside David's head. I really would. What made him think that was a good idea? And if he's just got blind spots, he's got, some cognitive bias there that he just can't overcome around experience or whatever it is, But as solid as a rock back four, granted, not necessarily against teams who are as tidy and effective and know what they're doing as Brentford. But we were at home. We started reasonably brightly. You know, individual errors is typically not the manager's fault. But maybe the individual error was because the goddamn back four was who knows, you know?
Yeah. This is it, isn't it? It's, we just
it's so frustrating.
Yeah, the really good win at Forest, defended brilliantly.
Yeah.
And then he thought that he had changed 2 positions for no reason. So Jacob Brien gets shunted back out to the right back position where he's done. And Michael Keane wasn't fit and is put back in. And we can see 4 goals. The same as when he was put in against Newcastle. He wasn't fit and we can see the 4 goals.
Yeah.
And he was all over the place, Michael. The manager done him no favours whatsoever. He's all over the gaff yesterday. And, you know, Brentford haven't won an away game. They have now.
Thiago hadn't scored for 6 games.
Away from home, yeah.
Yeah. And then scores hat-trick. And should have had more.
So,
you know.
just shot ourselves in the foot.
I'd like, honest, I can't get my head round why. I really can't.
Yeah.
You know, but those things impact not just the players who get left in or moved or whatever, but the whole unit.
Well, we're at home against... See, the thing that I just scratch my head with, Thiago can run. But the manager played a centre-back who wasn't fit and another centre-back who's not exactly quick against someone who could run. Instead of leaving O'Brien, who's quicker than the pair of them, at centre-back, where we've just kept a clean sheet. And then we're also at home, so we want to get on the front foot, which is what he was trying to do. There's no problem with that. He is trying to get us playing. We are playing better football, and we're trying to attack more. There's no doubt about that. But then he's took out a natural right back. Now listen again, I said lots of times, I don't know. Patterson's really not. You know, I don't know whether he's ever going to be the answer. He's been here for 4 years now, and he's never been able to convince anyone he deserves a run. He's had bad luck with managers, and bad luck with injuries, and bad form that have dropped him off the team.
All of the above, yeah.
So it's horrible. It's just been a horrible cocktail for him since he come in. But he done all right. At the opening 10 minutes of Forest, he struggled, no doubt about that. But then he got to grips with it, as
that's
you
actually
would.
A good sign.
Played for a while.
That's actually a good sign that you didn't let your head go down. You actually...
But he's natural. Yeah. He's a natural right back because that's his position. So he'll want to play forward. And Jay, and it's not a criticism of him because he's a centre back, but his first thought is always passing the ball back. Always. It's not to go the other way. Even when he's got space, he wants to pass it back. Because he doesn't really want the ball. He wants to defend. He doesn't want to have to do the other bit. So, and then, you know, I've seen a few people already talking about it. Dwight McNeil in midfield. What? Like, why? Like, why? Yeah, he didn't. If he'd have played well at Forest the other night, I'd have gone, no problem with that. But he's not. He's not played well.
Massively damning, I think, in my head for the manager. I knew. I think we all knew he wasn't coming out for the second half.
Yeah, of course. He'd have a shocker.
But you weren't absolutely certain, were you? I was actually. You're talking with the people around you, thinking he'll give them a bollocking and then give him another 10 minutes. You know what I mean? He was dog awful, which isn't good for him.
No,
because he must know. Yeah, and it isn't good for the rest of the team. And then you got Diblin, who's I don't necessarily subscribe to he's young, therefore up and down, all that sort of stuff. It all points to man management that needs to be better. It's not just about you prefer Michael Keane. What does that do to Tarkowski? What does that do to Mikalenko? What does that do to Jacob Brown, who gets shuffled back out to right back? What does that do to Patterson, who then gets thrown out the team altogether? And all of them see Dwight McNeil getting a game. What did that say to Armstrong? What did that say to, Roll?
Like I say, I don't have any issue if Dwight McNeil's playing. Lonely shot of pet there from James. Don't know what he's doing, but I don't. No problem if Dwight McNeil's playing well. None whatsoever. I've often said that position he can be really effective in.
That's the only one you would think he can. Yeah,
but he's not had a good game all season. Dwight. No, never. Now that's probably a bit of disappointment at being out the side, but you have to go to work, and if things aren't going your way, you have to try to get yourself back in. You can't sulk. Just because, and he was told, I think it's common knowledge with everybody that he was going to be on his way. The manager let it be known quite quickly into his tenure that Dwight wasn't part of the plans. So it's no surprise to anyone, but we've just gone to Forest and won and played really well and defended really well. Dwight didn't have a good game. He ran around. Don't get me wrong, he lovely ball through to James Garner, but that was early on. He didn't do anything else for the rest of the game apart from run around. He done nothing that warranted his inclusion. You've got Mail and Roll in, don't get me wrong, I don't think he pulled up any threes or Forest
he didn't
either, but at least he's athletic. But you've also got Harrison Armstrong, who's just come back as well, who's playing well and confident. So, to me, it didn't need Dwight McNeil to be clogging up a midfield position against the team who was always going to be very active in that midfield area. They've got legs, they get about the pitch.
They had it to themselves. Yeah.
And yet, he just, it was just bizarre for me. McNeil should have been out and Grealish should have been in.
Yeah.
And that should have been the only change.
More fool us.
That should have been the only change.
Yeah, more fool us, you and me, on Friday. We spent quite a while talking about, would you start Armstrong or Amarin? Amarin, where's that come from?
We wouldn't be starting Ruben Amarin the left field one.
Armstrong or Roll, right? And we both must have had that nag at, he'll start bloody McNeil. And he did. So his assistants are either yes men or he don't listen to them.
Yeah, I just don't.
So it's all, you know what I mean?
Understand it.
You've got to help managers, right? When they're making, well,
I don't understand it. It was such a strange one. It was a strange one, and I don't know how we can look at it and think that was the right way to go.
No,
I really don't.
Me neither.
I don't. I love Moyes as people know him, but I think Ped nailed it the other week with that 25 to 30%. That always has you scratching your head with them and going, what is he doing there? The rest of the stuff he does, you love, and you listen and you go, yeah, and he didn't sort of try to soften the blow. He didn't try to give you a Martinez take on it afterwards. He was like, it was crap. The defending was terrible.
It was.
We were rubbish and we got beat and all that, and that's fine. But 4 defeats in 6 at home is quite telling. Really.
It is.
And I'm getting fed up of listening to the away fans singing at the final whistle and I'm having a party in the corner. I really am. We've got to roll out 6, 7 omens on the run now because this just isn't good enough.
Totally. And that's the phrase that should be writ large. This isn't good enough.
It's not good enough. It's nowhere near the level. Away, they've been great.
And it's not, and the daft thing is, it's not necessarily about styles of play. It's not like, we park the bus and break away from home. And then at home, we're always on the edge of their penalty area and we're the ones who keep getting caught. No.
I mean, we did get caught twice.
We did, yeah, but it's dog shit individual performances. And
I just think whenever you break something up where you have all played together.
After that thing, don't change the winning team.
And you've kept it. You might do it for one play. You might go, well,
your better player comes
Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
For Dwight McNeil, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's okay, but messing with the defence, especially when the lad who you put back in is not fit, and you could see he wasn't fit.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I...
You actually mentioned that on Friday. I don't think, based on what the manager said in the pre-match, about he might be all right, and you said don't put him in if he's not fully fit.
He done it for Newcastle, and he got chased all afternoon, and he conceded 4 goals. He got chased yesterday all over the pitch. See the goals? It's just not good enough. So there's just no need for the manager to put him back in. You're not being fair on the lad either.
No,
the lad's gonna go, yeah, I'll play, isn't he? Of course, the footballers want to play. But the manager should have been brave enough to go, Nathan Patterson's playing. If he was good enough to go away to a difficult away game, a tough crowd of Forest when they get behind them, when they're not doing pathetic chanting, a difficult away game, up against good wingers, you got 2 different ones you have to contend with, and he done well until he ran out of steam. Why is he not good enough to play in front of 50,000 people backing him at home when we want to be on the front foot? Do you know what I mean? To me, if Jake O'Brien was unbelievable at right back, he'd go, yeah, he's better. And I'm always about that. Jared Brandt, when people would go, Michael Keane, he's playing really. I mean, I don't see it, but he's done okay. But what would you do with Brandt? Well, you put Branthwaite in.
Straight up.
You don't go, I don't know, because Michael Keane's had 2 good... Your Branthwaite's better, so you put him in. Yeah. The same as if Travers had to play for 2 games and done well. Jordan's available, he's in.
Travis saves a penalty. Oh, you're in for the next game now.
It's Jordan's in because ultimately at times there's better players. Jack Grealish is better than Dwight McNeil.
So the only thing conclusion you can draw from that, and I softened it when we talked about it last week, was that the manager thinks that Keane and O'Brien is better than O'Brien and Patterson.
That's why he keeps playing it.
Which is madness.
You want to be on the front foot, Davey? Play a right back at right back.
Yeah.
Or go and buy one. Other teams have brought players in already. I mean, there's no money worries here.
It's mad.
And you're telling me a recruitment team can't identify players to bring in. West Ham have bought 2 strikers. Well, forwards were hard to get. You got 2 of them in 3 days. Palace have brought a striker in.
Baz, it's in the culture, mate. Don't do what you should have done yesterday until tomorrow, because it'll be all right.
It's
doesn't matter, Baz. It's only a couple of days.
We're going to be up. Don't get me wrong. My head's not falling off or anything. I'm just frustrated with the way we threw the game.
Well, this is what
we're going to be up and down.
Yeah,
that's just the way it is with the players.
Joshua was messaging me like, well, he gets home quicker because where he lives. And he's not a happy bunny, 70, whatever he is, 16, 17. Yeah. Absolute buzzard, a forest.
Exactly. This is life, isn't it?
You know what I mean? It is. And that's the future,
This is
Everton. Then, I don't know about you being fed up with the away fans singing songs. You can bloody hear them because the home fans are
we're silent. We're absolutely silent.
Yeah, we're too quiet and we go home early.
We were having a conversation. It's how great the game was yesterday. There was like a couple of the fellas who sit in front of me. We were just having a chat while the game was going because it was pathetic, the game. And he's just like, this atmosphere is terrible, isn't it? It's like properly terrible. He's like, the South Stand throw 2 songs out and that's it. But no one else takes the mantle up, so it's only them. He said that Goodison, you had the street end, you had the park end, and even the family enclosed, or whatever, or the paddock could get involved.
The road would join.
Everyone just looks at the South Stand and goes, go ahead, entertain us, get the songs going. The North Stand may as well have no one in it. It's silent. Silent. There's 50,000 of us in there. So there's no excuse.
Of course not.
No excuse. We've, on occasions when we've done it,
can be the loudest around when it wants to be.
It's the loudest in the bloody planet or whatever, isn't it? When it
wants
on
to
it.
Be, yeah.
And I get it, because I was never this believer in Goodison was always electric. It wasn't. Goodison was quiet. You'd hear the players half the time. But when it was on it was difficult. Keith Andrews, like, we knew we had to silence the crowd. You haven't done your own work, Keith. That might have been the case at Goodison. Here you haven't. Once it's like there, like the graveyard at Anfield, once that song goes off,
that's it.
All the telly clappers get the phones out. It's silent till he score. But that's what we've gone like. And maybe that's football grounds everywhere, to be fair, for home fans. But you know better than me. You're at every single away game.
There's plenty of away grounds where they start.
Newcastle are brilliant, and Sunderland are brilliant, but they're just losing.
Forest
are normally good.
Yeah. Palace usually are.
Well, Palace, to be fair.
See what I mean? But straight away you've got half a dozen who can do it. But they're all smaller grounds, which is a bit.
Well, we can we? Ours just everyone's in flux, aren't they?
But it's like anything that you want to get better. You have to make it get better. You can't just wait.
This should be a normal thing for us, though. None of us should be surprised. We've lost.
Is your sarcasm coming now?
We've lost 7 out of 8 of the first game of the year. Last time we won.
I see. You mean
the last time we won
the trend is.
Well, the last time we won the first game of the new year was Southampton when Koeman was the manager. We won 3-0. We haven't won one since.
Mad, isn't it?
And haven't looked like winning one since. Players, to me, look pissed. They clearly weren't, but that's how it looked.
No.
They were slower than Brentford. It's me saying beforehand, these played on Thursday night.
Well, we've
had 2 days rest. We'll come at it, and we did. We started the opening.
We played at the pace
5
they
were
were so
minutes.
Comfortable with.
It was all right, but then after that, it was walking pace.
It was,
and for so many again to be off it, that's a worry. Not 2 or 3 off it, and it's not good enough in the Premier League because you all have to. We look like we had 8 or 9.
See, when you get into the, if you're being a bit pointed and provocative about it, I think what you just said is the foundation for debate, which is if 1 or 2 players are off it, then obviously the team, because you're playing with 9, say,
of course,
can have real issues.
That's difficult.
But when it's 4, 5, 6, 7, that's the manager who's got a problem, in my view. Because you're either doing your prep right or the tactics aren't right, or people don't know what they're supposed to be doing, or they've lost faith.
Do you know what?
Whatever.
Do you know what I think it is, John? At home, right? I think the Spurs game, and this shouldn't be the case, by the way. This should not be the case, but the Spurs game has burnt them, followed by the Newcastle game. It's absolutely burnt them. So when they go behind, it's almost like that's
There
it.
we go again, you mean?
That's how it feels like that to me. When they went ahead yesterday, I was thinking, right, we've got 10 minutes to equalise here, otherwise that's it, it's over. And there's no response. It was flat. You know, when you think back to Palace, which is the only game we've come from behind to win, that game should have been 3-0. We got away with it. Mateta missed 2 open goals to kill the game, and then we get a penalty, and then the stadium, the roof came off, and we had enough. The manager did make changes, and it flipped the game on its head. Alcaraz came on, it flipped the game on its head. But what my point is, we could have been out of sight there as well.
Do you know what?
But
sorry, I should be laughing.
Fulham we won because we got ahead.
Yeah.
Forest we won because we got ahead. You know, we got ahead against West Ham, who were absolute garbage, and not enough talked about what a pathetic result and performance that was that night, by the way. But people tried to pass it on. Well, one of them. No excuses. Villa at home, there shouldn't have been any. Villa were dreadful that day, like dreadful. Hugging and celebrating with a point. They were crap.
Talk about catching them at the right time.
It should have been 4 or 5-0 that day. We had enough chances. Beto missing open goals, 3 open goals. The game should have been put to bed. But when we've gone behind, the resilience has dropped. And yesterday, when it went behind, Arsenal was slightly different because it was a terrible kick-off time. No one could really be asked. They couldn't be asked. They got a penalty. We should have had a penalty. It was a tight game. Should have really been 1-1, crap game, put it in the bin, room 101 and go home and enjoy Christmas. But the 3 other defeats that have come, 3-0, 4-1, 4-2. That's shot to concede that many goals at home.
It is.
In the manner. And what's the big common denominator in all of them? 5 of them goals that we conceded are free headers off corners. We can't defend corners.
I only saw it last night, the header from the corner. I'm thinking...
Straight ball, lads headed it.
Yeah.
Goes over the screen. Etienne Barry is supposed to be the screener. Well, he jumped high, we went over him. But Tarkovsky's let the lad just have a free header. But we've got massive players, and when we take a corner, we can't get... Tarky got near the first one, and that was it. We didn't get near another one after that.
Well, what's mad is, if you're going to have, whether it's a zonal system or a hybrid or whatever it is, right, you would think that if the same players are on the pitch, they'd be doing the same jobs, wouldn't you?
You'd think so, yeah.
I watched, I can't remember, I guess it was Forest based on how many balls they threw in, but it was, clearly it's either Forest or Burnley because you're close, basically, and watched every single corner the opposition got. There was a wrestling match on the near post with O'Brien, because he's bleeding giants, and their player who doesn't want him there. For this.
O'Brien was somewhere else, yeah.
He's on the back post somewhere.
Well, that's it, if he's 6'6".
7, whatever.
Well, whatever.
Have him stood there like a mountain.
It is a bit mad. But listen,
it's all shit, mate.
If you it was depressing.
Sorry.
If you step back from it, you go, well, if that had been 1-0 or 2-1, you go, we're gonna be like that. We are gonna be like this, aren't we?
We're in transition.
We can't.
All that,
it's not even that. It's like you look at the players there. It's 2026 and we've still got Michael Keane and Dwight McNeil starting for us in a squad that's been turned around. Michael Keane stayed as a 4-2 centre-back. Dwight McNeil was told he could leave, or we're led to believe he was told he could leave. So therefore, we're still trying to transition away. But what I mean by them saying they're starting, if you look back as well, who was a new player who was starting yesterday for Everton? That's probably a better, rather than me saying Keane and McNeil, that's neither here nor there. Who was the new players that started for Everton yesterday? Jack Grealish, Etienne Barry, Tyler Dibling. Was that it? That's it, isn't it? Yeah. So we spent 115 million, and we had 3 new players starting.
A third of that money was on Dibling, wasn't it?
So you look at that and go, that's probably a bigger forget about McNeil and Keane, that's probably a bigger indication. Why is it only them? Why are we changing the team when we don't need to? But when we step back, no one's Jai. And can we all put to bed Everton better without a Gay, by the way? Can that go to bed at some stage?
There are people out
there.
That
midfield wouldn't have been... We'd have had the midfield shown up when Idris there. But anyway, everyone sees the game differently. They're probably the same ones who want McNeil in the team. Dewsbury Hall's a huge miss. It's a
course he
huge
is,
miss.
yeah.
Control of the ball, creates, gets goals. He's a massive miss with him and Jack and Adrissa. They're big players for us, of course they are. I'm looking glass half full here.
Of course.
At where we are. Best centre-back we've got at the club by some distance, hasn't kicked the ball in earnest.
And we never
for
get
us.
told what's going on.
And we don't know what's happening with him.
Yeah,
He could be a week away, could be 6 months away.
Could be out for the whole season for all we know.
We've no idea. So they're the positives to come back. But even with all them coming back, Everton are still 2 or 3 players at least short. And this window is about strengthening that.
We talked on Friday.
We could have been 5th now.
Yeah.
We could be sat here going with 5th.
Yeah.
With bottom of the league to come. With 12th.
Yeah.
In a mix of... and if we don't beat Wolves, the gap will start opening that we will never recover.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we've got Villa away next, we're beating everyone.
They'll come.
Villa will destroy us at Villa Park if we play as open as that.
Yeah, of course.
Won't they? And then Leeds will turn up and have a go. And Leeds are fast and go forward. So therefore, there's a danger we'll concede 4 again unless we're on it and we get the first goal. And Dom will be, because he never gets injured anymore, will be playing up front for them, ready to destroy us, won't he? Because we'll be wide open, and if Keane's in and things like that, because we're just playing anyone. So we've got to be careful not to let this spiral when we're still in a decent position.
Totally
Beat
agree.
Wolves, we're still in the running pack, and you go, okay, let's try to put Brentford in the bin and make sure that doesn't happen again now. That's the challenge from now to the end of the season.
That's the Wolves who are playing without any pressure. Yeah.
He's just won 3-0, haven't he? I mean, they've been gifted. It'd be lovely if we got gifted a penalty. Be absolutely great. But we can't get penalties.
That penalty compared to the...
There was one yesterday at 1-0
one.
with the lad right in front of me, started the second half. We got a corner. He fell over, knocked it out with his hand. No one's interested. Taylor wasn't interested because he may well have had the Brentford
he had
shirt
another
on.
crap,
Oh, he's
didn't
terrible.
he?
He's
Yeah.
terrible. He's a terrible referee. To me, he was one of my talking points yesterday. We've had worse performances, but he's just a cherry on the cake for me. He's garbage.
He is, yeah.
He's absolutely garbage. And yet, it was just it was just the last straw for me yesterday.
You know I'm a sad anorak who has my own Fergie time.
Yeah.
And I'm quite pleased with myself, or with the referee, indeed, if we're quite
I'm
close.
never pleased with the referee.
Only on timekeeping.
Ever.
If we're quite close together. And I do it the same way, and you've heard all the boring of how I do it, right? He played 5 minutes less time in the second half than I would have done.
The fella's a clown. He played 6 minutes.
And I went to look about when was the gap that big, because, I take a photo and I've got some data there, haven't I? Whatever. I give up after 3 years. I've never been more than a couple of minutes out either way with any referee for 3 years, 5 minutes.
He was a joke.
He's pathetic.
He was a joke.
Fall over, you get a free kick.
Absolute joke. When we've got them under a little bit of pressure and it's building and building, he just allows Aaron Hickey to walk 30 yards up a line, then goes over to have a chat
Tells
with
him off and lets him do
pull
it
his
again.
socks up, do whatever for about a minute and a half, and then he's to let him take it from where he wants.
tiny shoelaces.
Tiny shoelace. Yeah, well, stop that. Thiago, I'm just having a drink, ref off every corner we got. Yeah, all right, go ahead, mate, have a drink. It's
He
sound.
fouled us as well. And he could just have a drink.
Do whatever he wants. And then he's calling the 2 Brentford players over. Stop it. No, ref, let them do it and give a penalty. You know what you're there for? Give an actual penalty. Absolute clown.
We got halfway to
He's a clown.
halfway to the halfway line. He pulls it back to give us an offside.
He's a clown. The fella's a clown. But they're all terrible.
Oh, they are.
Glued them all together, you wouldn't have a decent one. They're terrible. So well done, Howard Webb, on making it 10 times worse than it was when we took over.
Imagine Howard Webb coming in here. Wouldn't be Michael Owen, would it, saying, Howard, would you agree with me that you and your refs are wonderful?
Fella's a joke. There was a handball in the ball, although I did think they might have had one as well.
Yes, I thought
Michael Keane handballed it off Thiago.
Yeah.
But it was very, very quickly. They must have done that thing if it was too close, whatever. But anyway, crap.
Did they publicise greatly that there's a margin of error in offside?
Not greatly.
No. Because you've got pundits and journalists going, oh, this has been in for ages. And you think, what?
For the Waits one? Just in general, sorry.
Well, apparently that's it. The on-field decision was offside. The VAR automated decision was offside. Then they applied this wriggle room that apparently the clubs have all agreed with that says if you're offside by less than 5 centimetres, you're not offside.
I've never heard that before.
Ditto. Apparently, we are the only nation in Europe who don't. You can't be offside by a fingertip anymore or a big toe
Howard Webb.
because of the wriggle room.
Howard Webb.
Well, that's the tail wagging the dog.
Howard Webb. And there you go. And that's and clear directive from Liverpool, Arsenal, City.
You would think
At
so.
the top. It's not from anyone else, is it?
No.
Because they have to protect them, don't they? That's what they like. It's in plain sight. It's whether people choose to ignore it or not.
And then when you listen to their manager, and he's talking about, oh, it's us, isn't it? But it's like he's a victim. Oh, it's always us who gets a worldie, sort of thing, or goal of the season, or whatever it is.
No, Mark, I said this on me aftermatch stuff.
It's out there.
It's not. Anthony Taylor wasn't the reason Everton lost.
No, absolutely not.
Far from it. Far from
Playing
it.
shit was.
He was, and I even said this. He was one of my talking points because he was horrific. He may as well have had a Brentford shirt on, right?
Yeah.
But he wasn't horrific in terms of match-winning decisions. He was just horrific. He was an awayer. Whereas most teams get a homer,
yeah.
We don't get a homer. He was an awayer. So every bit of momentum he built up, he broke it. Every time there was a 50-50, he gave them the free kick. When it was the same at the other end, he didn't. He let them carry on. Pushes in the back, he allowed.
They were non-stop pushing.
There was a couple of corners. There was throw-ins where I'd love to be part of the coach, because there must be for those officials. I'd love to be part of the, when you get all the Everton fans, about 10,000, all to jump up and claim a decision.
Yeah.
Whoever's organising that's brilliant. We'll all do it when it clearly isn't our ball. We'll all jump up and go berserk.
At the same time.
Because there was two in the second half where their player kicks it out. Dickhead lines and 1 foot made me look like I'm 6'6", puts his flag up and gives Brentford the throw in, and everyone jumps up, and Taylor hasn't got a clue and just decides, oh yeah, we'll go with them. Absolutely atrocious. Just pathetic. 200 grand a year plus expenses. Lovely job. Lovely
to put
job.
it in the context though.
But he wasn't the reason Everton lost the game, by the way. I was just fuming because this is a cumulative.
The referee wasn't the reason we lost.
No.
And the poor starting 11, in my view, decisions were not the reason we lost either. It was 11 players being pretty shit for most of the game.
Yeah.
And that's something to try and figure out why that happens. But like you say, it could very well be they just can't hack it in the stadium. And they've got stuck in that if we go behind, You'd think they'd like our fans being quiet because we used to lose a lot in COVID when there was no fans, didn't we? So,
yeah, beat it all.
Yeah.
What did you make of their third goal? And I guess this is what's crap about the offsides now. Thiago's 15 yards offside when the ball.
And then he runs in behind.
And scores.
Yeah,
and
I thought that was in the same
that's second phase.
No,
that's what they'll say. That's what they'll say. Because they checked it. But they were checking Sharda wasn't offside. But the lad is literally ahead of our defensive line, who then scores.
Yeah.
So that's him. I know that's probably.
But we have countless, don't we? When you say you
come
from an offside position, which he did.
If it had been like a shot and Pickford saves it and then he runs onto it and puts it in, I can sort of understand that and go, well, the lad who's at the attempted goal, it's been saved. So that to me is a real clear second phase. But there was no shot. Sharda held it up and laid it off, and then the offside.
I thought phases were dictate how it's a different phase, as you just implied. Either the opposition have touched it, it was in the box and it's come out, or it was out the box, it's gone in. Because otherwise, you can just make it up.
A weird one. A weird one.
But
I might not. I probably don't know.
It was up the other end. I just saw it on the telly and thought, why aren't they talking about that?
Well, he went to VAR.
No, I just meant on telly.
Yeah.
But when it's 4, no one talks about it.
Was there any doubt in your mind that wouldn't be given as a goal?
Which one?
That's the third one.
Oh, when they took a bit of time.
When they were like, because I thought it's Everton. So even if there isn't,
just like when it goes up, there's never any doubt in my mind that if we just scored, it's going to be turned over.
Hopefully.
But that's just fans. That's the way we all.
But it was a bit crap. But it's not again. Beat Wolves and it changes, doesn't it? But it's.
So they've made Wolves harder for themselves.
I don't know. I think it's.
Is
there not a positive to say then?
We won't be complacent.
Following normally with Moisey. Following such a shambolic performance, the next one is a response.
That's often what happens.
So can't guarantee it, of course. But Everton will have to score.
If it's the players, if the manager's convinced, because Keane being out, was it the virusy thing, or or is he?
Don't know, he didn't say, did he?
Yeah.
Said they're both injured, didn't he?
but-
He said injured.
Okay, so he's finished the game, so he's not injured no more, is he?
Mm-hmm.
So
No.
So he'll start against Wolves, won't he? And Jake O'Brien will be
Well,
right
he
back.
shouldn't. He should use this to go, actually, I'm freshening it up.
Yeah.
I'm freshening it up.
If he believes in what he did yesterday,
Of course,
he
yeah.
should do it again.
Yeah, but not really, because he might go with backfired, didn't he? Because he said it backfired going to 4-4-2, didn't he?
Yeah, Dwight is an easier one to swap out because he can say that he was fitter than Roll, and Armstrong had like 2 training sessions or some excuse like that. But let's see, right? But the danger is the manager ends up picking teams because he knows he's going to get stick from fans if he doesn't pick certain teams, you know. But if he thinks that's the right thing to do, he should do it again. But it's in plain sight now. Because you've been saying for a while, I think we've been agreeing with you to some degree that, you know, when people believe in Keane has been having a tremendous season, blah, blah, blah. But you can see where goals have been coming from throughout the season. And it's just that they happened at our gaff this time. So, anyway.
We need players. It's the most important thing.
Yeah.
You know, we needed them in for these games, and they've not been able to do it. So that should come with its own questions as well.
Well, of course, because we're back around that loop
Other
again.
clubs have done it.
Yeah, we're back around that loop again. It'll be the last day type crap, you know. And I said, you know, over on the sofa the other day, they better not think, oh, we got Armstrong through on day one, so we can sit on our hands now for a couple of weeks.
Well, you either want to create a new perception and a new positive culture, or you're just doing. I mean, like I said yesterday, listen, they could say now and they go, the plan is the summer, and it's the plan's the summer because we're safe, we'll be fine, and doesn't matter if we finish 10th or we finish 15th, we're not going down. And that might be their ambition, for all I know. I haven't spoke to Dan Freakin or the owner. I haven't got a clue what their ambition is. I can tell you this, their ambition certainly ain't the same as mine.
No, I totally agree. And we talked, and in fact, it's buried in the Substack somewhere, right? If they think that this season is just about, you know, a solid, no worries about relegation type season, yeah, that might have been it the day after the season finished last season. But it wasn't 2 months into the new season. You've spent a few bob. You can see what's going on with the rest of the league. You can see a promoter team called Sunderland who look far more joined up than we do, right? Yeah. Who are clearly we're going to crash and burn with all those players who've gone to AFCON, and they haven't.
No, not at all.
So, you know...
So they're only going to get better.
So when a manager goes, well, you know, we've lost players to AFCON and we've got some injuries, you go, ooh, look at this lot over here. Or you pointing at Leeds and going, you know, very limited squad, very limited club.
Leeds are looting. They're just full of energy.
Yeah.
But they're full of energy because they've got players.
There's another place where the fans bounce.
Yeah, to be fair, they do.
Yeah.
But they're full of energy because energy in this league wins your games.
Of course it does.
Energy won Brentford the game yesterday.
Absolutely.
And they shouldn't have had that energy.
No.
That should have been us. And we did. We went behind and then everyone went within themselves. Fed up of seeing us pass the ball back.
Yeah.
Michalenko passes the ball back more than anyone I've ever seen from the halfway line when there's a big 30-yard space in front of him. Jake O'Brien does it on the other side, but I give him a pat. Well, I won't, but I can understand him slightly more because he's a centre-back. But we pass the ball back more than anything. It's incredible. It's like, we're going that way, lads. And it's turn and go back. And knock it back to Pickford.
I'm boring myself shouting channel in our games.
But why are we going to Pickford?
Yeah.
So Pickford can do his little dink with his left foot that we lose anyway. You can do that. Why are you letting someone else do it?
When the ball comes from Mikalenko to Keane, to Tarkowski, to O'Brien, to Pickford, back to Keane, back to Mikalenko, hospital pass, players on top of it, you know. You think, why?
It's frustrating. It is frustrating. You can't burn everything down.
Lads, we don't give a shit whether you've had 300 passes in a game or 400. We really don't.
We just want to win.
You know, and you called out earlier on the stats around those who, you know, the two who were worse than us, but one of them's way up the league, playing that. Being direct, and in some respects, that's what Brentford are.
Well, they've mixed it. They knocked it down quite well. Yesterday.
The passing is.
There was too much brightness from.
Pass accuracy in that game was better than this.
Yeah, but they had 120 passes.
They had more passes.
Than we
they
did.
had more passes.
So they're knocking it round. And
but those people who want to look at the game through stats probably won't be able to figure out why we lost then, because most of the stats.
But the XG will tell you why we lost.
No, that's the point.
Thiago had the better XG on his own than we had.
Absolutely.
So that'll tell you why we lost.
He must have thought, going back to Barry and Forrest, he must think, can I play these every week?
Easy. Yeah, well, listen, it's frustrating. They've got to bounce back, haven't they? They've got to bounce back.
It's not optional, is it?
No, they've got to. Well, it's a big week. Everton could easily get beat Wednesday and get beat Saturday.
Yeah.
And then where did they go?
The foot.
Sunderland are going to turn up Saturday with 7,000 fans.
High energy.
And loads of energy. And we have to be able to match that. And you're going, well,
who?
With what, though?
Yeah.
We keep handing the opposition a big lifeline by playing a centre-back who's injured and a lad in midfield that hasn't been on it. Playing a centre-back at right-back so that you're not getting tested having to defend. Then you're going to give the impetus to them.
Yeah.
Conversely, we can beat Wolves, beat Sunderland, and be in the fourth round and go, right, got a week or whatever, 8 days till we go to Villa in the league, which will be obviously a really tough game because they're flying. But 8 days till we go there. Can we do a bit of business in that 8 days as well and just freshen it? But also 8 days closer, surely, to Dewsbury all being back in Brantford.
That's what I keep saying.
And Njai and Ghana.
That's what I keep
surely
saying.
Surely we're closer to that. So that's a positive spin as well. Our centre forward scored 3 in his last 5 or 6, whatever. He's starting to score goals now. Beto's got himself a goal. A loads of story today that he's going to Fenerbahce, but we'll see. Well, that's we see, don't you? But that's the positive to take out of it. They both were on the pitch and both scored a goal yesterday for them. Jack got another 2 assists. He's one behind.
That's the first assist since August, isn't it?
Yeah, but he still created by far the most chances. Yeah. He created 4.
We had this chat last week. It's not his fault he hasn't had more assists.
If he had Igor Thiago in the middle,
he'd have had 10.
10 or 15. Well, he's 1 off. He's got 6 now, so he's 1 behind.
Shaky and Fernandez.
Yeah,
they're both ahead of him.
They're ahead of him for that. But he's 1 behind for Everton. There's only 3 players in their debut season who've got more than 6 assists.
Is there really?
One of them is Beardsley. He got 7. Kanchelskis might have 8. He might have the most. And there's one more player as well. There's another player as well.
So he's a target for him to beat then?
So if he gets 1 more assist, he's equal to them. He gets 2, he's equal to them. And if he gets 3 more between now and the end of the season, he's the most ever by an Everton player in a debut.
You've got to believe, short of not getting injured, he's going to do that.
Well, you'd hope. Well, people have got to put the ball in the net, haven't they? But yesterday, if I'm the manager and if I'm him, or if I'm Beto, or if I'm Barry, I'm saying, Jack, just throw more of them in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Put more of them in, mate, and we will score goals. We don't have to slow it down. When he just shifted it, it was an unbelievable ball for Beto. And then the one for Barry just skipped past him and stood it up. Took the keeper out the game. It was a great ball.
He's quite good, isn't he? That Grealish.
He's good. Imagine if he had the left back who ran on beyond him. He was fast. And we had the same on the right-hand side. It unlocked the team again. We've done well. We had a really good 2025. We've had a dreadful start to 2026, but the beauty of football sometimes is the next one's along in a few days and you've got a chance to go, right, put that to bed. If we beat Wolves Wednesday, it'd be great to beat Wolves 3-0 and put that totally to bed. But if we beat Wolves by hook or by crook and get over the line and we're on 31 points, you go, right, okay, that's forget Brentford now, it's done. One of them days you can almost argue. Almost. Just
another one of those days. Another one of those days.
Because we're at the split point now, aren't we? We've won 4 and lost 4. We've had a couple of draws as well, but at home, the 10 home games, won 4, lost 4. So we've got to tip that W high, get that high now. So that we've already heard Shea given yesterday, where's the new stadium thing and teams it's easy for them to play.
Easier.
We don't want that.
No, we don't
We
want
want teams to go, it is difficult to play there. They are getting to grips with it now. And maybe, seen a few people saying to me yesterday, we need to make the pitch smaller. Because it's too big and the opposition are enjoying it. I don't know whether it's too big or it isn't too big. Or maybe we just need better players, but...
It's set for the season now.
It's set. No, I'm talking, maybe it's something to look at in the summer.
Just play better football, Baz, yeah.
Just get better players who can run.
Yeah.
Players who are energetic.
Yeah.
Gary Ward says,
Hi, Gary.
says it's January, let's acquire some help. Adam says, been some good moments and some very bad moments this season. Maybe that's what we've got to accept with the club in transition. What we shouldn't accept is the amount of times we've been slaughtered at home. It's got to be addressed. Feels like any time I criticise Moyes, people are straight on my back, but we're far too easy to play against. All well and good telling us we're missing creative players, but I'd like to know why forward players seem to have so much time and space against us. Was the same against Newcastle, Brighton and Palace, by the way, and we had barely anyone missing for those games.
Yeah.
Well, Newcastle, Michael Keane wasn't fit and he still played him. So... Jay says Moyes crapped himself with that team selection. Come on, Moyes, we love you, but CFG won't love us being hammered at home most weeks this season. And also TikTok to the recruitment team. We should have had at least one in by now. Palace have already stolen Johnson from under our... Well, we didn't want him. Didn't steal him.
No.
If we'd have gone for him, he'd be an Everton player.
Yep.
If Moyes is overruling, ignore him. David Earl says defensive changes cost us, but the players do have to take responsibility.
Correct.
How bad we were. Yeah. Blue Jay, afternoon lads, a happy new year indeed. I once again find myself bemused by David Moyes. He's a really good manager in so many ways, and I'm not forgetting where we've come from over the past few years, but I just wish he'd get out of his own way and stop complicating things. Start Patterson, leave O'Brien at centre-back, leave Roll in the 10, drop McNeil for Grealish. The blueprint was there from the Forest win. He has to stop reverting to this comfort blanket of Keane at centre-back and O'Brien at right-back and McNeil existing somewhere on a football pitch. It's cost us a few times this season and we've had a few hidings at home now. I'm still not all in on keeping Moyes beyond this season, and it's because of things like this. Hopefully we turn it round against Wolves. Nathaniel says, how did Patterson not get on the pitch yesterday? We went 2 up front at half time, presumably because we wanted crosses into the box. We take McNeil off, who's one of our better crosses. Well, there's no argument with taking McNeil off. And we left O'Brien and Michalenko fullback. Moyes has done a good job this season, but that was utterly baffling. I'd have just put Patterson on at right wing. If he was terrified of taking O'Brien from right back.
Stick him as a wing back in front.
What was the point of Roll? Not crossing the ball, is
No.
it? And Brentford weren't destroying us down the wings.
No.
So it was a bit of an odd one. Bootle Blue says, afternoon, it's a bit worrying the way we're getting turned over at home. Defo needs some reinforcements. 2 new fullbacks are a must. Sean Hanna says, could be worse. Could be Man United. Brien says the siren issue was
6th place, Man United here.
Yeah. Brien says the siren issue was because we were late coming out the dressing room and Brentford were in the tunnel waiting for us for ages. Even the ref spoke to Taki. So what?
Not according to the clock, they weren't late.
But
just because they're in the tunnel doesn't mean we're late.
And that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Because surely there's communication.
Yeah.
They're in the tunnel, press the siren. Don't just press something and go, oh, plane doesn't take off if half the people are still in the building, does it? No, I'm not having that for a second.
No.
Not for 1 second. Royal Blue Rich says only one change needed making from the Forest game. And then at half time, when we could see the defence was all over the place, he then goes and changes the attack. It's baffling to me. I might be wrong, but are you able to explain? I can't explain his team selection.
Ditto.
I can't understand how you've had a really good away win where we've defended in the main really well and he decides to change 50% of the positions in the defence. I can't explain that. I can't explain why he took Roll out and put McNeil there. I can't explain that either. So I'm sorry, Royal Blue Ritz, I can't explain it. Harrison Darby says, in my opinion, give Moyes till the end of the season and get Glasner so we don't have to pay any compensation. Harrison, no, sorry, done that. Martin says, my 2 sons were shushed in the lower north yesterday for singing.
What?
Were shushed?
No.
Oh, he's not going to just...
No, I'm not saying he's... That's unbelievable.
What's happening at our club, man?
That's ridiculous.
Mark Max says, let's go and get Amarim while he's available. He's put only messing. The Thiago runs were classy, stretching us all over the place. Would you say the second half was more of a 4-3-3? I don't know. Barry did sort of go and stay out wide, didn't he?
Was it Beto a bit,
But then Beto was like playing, I don't know.
It was weird.
I don't know. I honestly don't know, mate. I think we were that all over the place. I don't think anyone knew where they were playing.
I think it's, yeah.
Once
the
it went,
game started sort of like that.
Sean says, Brien was poor on Sunday. I felt sorry for him as he's been solid at centre-back. He must be frustrated. I'm right. I think I'm right in saying that's the first goal scored by Brentford from a corner since I've seen the stat before. They hadn't scored a corner since November or October.
I thought it was this season, wasn't it?
But not what the stats I'd seen before. Okay. Been a couple of months since they scored.
On the Match of the Day commentary said that was the first corner. They were the last team this season to score from a corner.
Oh, well, maybe I'd just seen something before, but maybe it was a set piece.
Who trusts the Beeb these days anyway? So.
Yeah. Phil Stevens says, I was fuming yesterday, but then when I was walking back the car, I was thinking how much we've come on since last year. It's obviously crap to get beat, but at least we don't have to have sleepless nights about getting relegated. Hopefully those days are behind us forever. Royal Blue Rich says, I have heard the operation exercise thing at other games, but what's it about? I've got no idea. We heard it at Goodison and nothing seems to happen. I've wondered for years what they do during operation.
All the stewards and the like get into their emergency positions. That's all.
Can't just have it on the radio. Stephen Warman says, Happy New Year to all at Toffee TV. Great show, lads, as always. We have to have the worst fullbacks in the league. So poor in possession, the decision-making, the tempo, not to mention the passing ability. It's affecting our ability to play. Shocking. Everton sort it out. AJ says, first thought, I thought we were actually getting bombed pre-kick-off. The operation exercise commenced about 20 times. You knew it was just one of those
One of
days.
the biggest cheers of the day was when it stopped.
Ridiculous.
And the South Stand thought that, we're going to get his egg cars now. And then it started again.
Bill Stevens says, I think somewhere McNeil is still on the turn for the ball yesterday. Slower than the Titanic, that lad. AJ says also how we solved the atmosphere problem, because I know the footy wasn't good, but from the first minute it was quiet and the away fans are just taking over the atmosphere. Saturday night sound like a Sunderland home game if it doesn't change.
There's no shortcuts. You can't just...
Well, if people are shushing people, then we may as well all bin it.
Yeah, but there can't be any shortcuts to that. You've got to have consistent, every single game, orchestration of some sort. We got all this from Sebastian, didn't we, when we went to Dortmund? That didn't happen overnight either. No. But then again, we gave the club the opportunity to go and have a look, and they said, yeah, okay, we know what we're doing.
Jez D says, I saw the team sheet and didn't rush home to watch. If we consistently field mediocre players, we should expect inconsistency. I simply cannot understand why Moyes thinks a backup CB should play and that the backup CB should play and the right back, centre back should play at right back, and then field McNeil when we don't need to. You nailed all this in your match reaction, Baz, but what annoys me is that it ensures Moyes cannot pinpoint the cause because he makes way too many changes. I guess he could see it as we started brightly, but then it went wrong. But that's what happens when you fiddle, if it ain't broke, etc. The only outlier thought I have is that Moyes is trying to force the right-back need conversation, but I suspect I'm giving him too much credit. It was massively overthinking by Moyesy. Evan Viking says, that was the most disheartening game I've seen from us for years. I just knew when I saw the team sheet exactly what had happened, and it happened. It's happened with Moyes so many times. He's at his best when his back's against the wall and he has no choice, and he's at his worst when he has a decision to make, because he always makes the one he thinks is safe and experienced, and negativity always fails. He deserves a lot of praise for how he's come in with Everton and handled us, but my God, he just gets on my nerves with so much negativity and attitude that it's nearing towards prehistoric. He makes no effort to change either, and that's so frustrating. He took no accountability last night. Proper disappointed me. And says the stadium is dead because of the team selection. Don't get me wrong, it's not just on Moyes. We do need better players, but he trusts in the wrong players and the wrong negative process, and his tactics are so flawed that even with better players we still have issues because of how he gets them playing. Luke says, did anyone ask why Patterson was dropped? Of course they never. Got ridiculed by me mates before the game about my opinion of Patterson starting over Keane. Not saying he's the long-term answer, but round pegs in round holes at least provides us with balance. We need a balance at centre-back too, with Tarky needing pace. In O'Brien or Branthwaite, not Keane.
That's a bit worrying, isn't it? That you having a debate with your mates about playing a centre-back at centre-back and a right-back at right-back.
And
exposes you to ridicule.
Well,
I think that's your mate's problem.
Yeah,
not yours.
I think it makes your mates look like they don't understand football, really. Dan W says, I was feeling optimistic, but that thanks Everton. Moyes should never have changed the back four after a win and a clean sheet. Again, our recruitment team's talent, ID and lack of urgency is scandalous. I want a European push, not a 10th to 12th place finish, which I predict the board and owners will see as progress.
Do you think that?
Mm-hmm. Ian, I've seen it from individual, although I know that it was Chico that put it on, but I've seen it from 2 or 3 other places, mate, with the monitoring. So yes, I do. I know what Chico's like, even though he was blagging under his Luca Chianti thing. Everton Vikings says, also the rumours that the recruitment team don't see why sense in spending money on improving the team. If that's true, then they're genuinely ridiculous. I'm tired of the excuse. If January is being a hard market, it doesn't stop other teams. This team's desperate for improvement and we need fullbacks. There are fullbacks available to us, and if they can't identify one single fullback to improve us, do we really trust them for a huge summer? I'm not so sure.
Can we have a little chat about that?
Whatever you want to.
Only because that phrase recruitment team is all-encompassing, isn't it?
Mm.
In the recruitment team are all the data analysts. I have no doubt they know who all these fullbacks are. Yeah.
Well, that's like
because it's impossible not to.
I know the answer to every match question, and you give me 3 or 4, and I can't answer them.
Yeah.
I can say whatever I want.
No,
you can assume.
Yeah.
But there's no evidence that they follow it.
Well,
so.
Well, that's the point. That's why I said let's have the chat about it. If the recruitment committee, rather than the people who are part of the team, say we need a right back, right, then we have to determine what kind of right back. Let's have one with a bit of pace and a bit of attacking, a bit of physicality. You know? Oh, there you go. Here's a load.
Yeah.
Right. If one of the recruitment committee, maybe the manager, says, oh yeah, but I'm only interested in ones who played in the Premier League before, or I'm only interested in ones who've got 100 top flight games behind them, whatever, right? Then that obviously makes your list smaller and smaller and smaller, right? Yeah. But if we're going out there with what can be described as high standards, where the manager wants a right back who's a full international for a top nation, has played in Europe, he's done this, he's done that, and he's done the other. Yeah. Even if we've got the money, we're not getting that player right now. If that means he goes, I'll stick with Jake then, that's when someone else has to intercept that and go, hang on a minute. You know, anything or anyone who improves overall what we've got, even if it's, as you used the phrase before, not the final answer, is what we should be doing, surely. That's how you progress.
Again, it's hard, isn't it? Because you can only look at it as a fan. I'm just looking as a fan, and like I said before, my ambitions for this football club are not matched by the board, the owner,
agree.
the CEO, the manager. They're just not. They're not. Because if they were, they'd be leaving no stone unturned, and they're not. The ownership group obviously just want a mid-table team and build slowly, and that might be great. That might be the right way to do it. But it's still frustrating.
Building sustainability is clearly, or should be, one of the criteria for any business, right?
Yeah.
But one thing that irritates me immensely is when people in good faith go, I know we're in transition. It's always followed by the word but, right? Here's a squad with a manager who's been doing okay overall. There's nothing wrong. You look at the body of work over 12 months.
Yeah, it's done very well.
38 league games, all that sort of
done
stuff.
Very well.
Therefore, the risk of investing in more money in that is lower than it would be if it was the fella who was there the year before,
course, yeah.
and so on and so forth, right? But you can't boil the ocean, right? And so you're always going to have to get players who aren't right now just going to plop, go in the team, starter, off you go. And that's when we get into the difference between making players perform to the limit of their ability, which always, for me, seems quite good at, and actually developing players. I don't think you develop players by playing them in the wrong position. I don't think you develop players by letting them bench warm for 6 months and then send them back to the country they came from for a few games, which tells you nothing because it's an as-new situation, and so on and so forth. So that's where you need leadership. That's where we'll call it the board, simply because they're all more senior in the organisation than David Moyes is, because he doesn't sit on it, right? That's where they have to start asking questions and making suggestions and ultimately making decisions.
Yeah.
And all we've said right from the very beginning, we want from our football, or I say it anyway, is we want us to be decisive in our decision making and effective in our communications. And when we get, traditionally, when our football club gets into this little mess that we're temporarily, hopefully, in now, which can all be fixed by winning a football match, we do both of those badly, don't we? We go and hide. We stop responding to phone calls. We stop responding to WhatsApp, whatever, right? And we just hope that that poor isolated character called the manager can, conjure up a victory that makes all that negative noise go away. But that's just treating symptoms. We've got to treat causes. And you have to fix things today. Tomorrow's too late, right? Which is why all those little things, patting yourselves on the back because you've done a good job. No, you're there to do a good job. And that means the whole organisation, not just the sporting side.
Listen, it's...
So there's work to be done, right? And I'm sure, based on having the character sat on that you're over there talking to you, that he's not daft. He knows what's what. And maybe they are running the scenarios and making decisions which we may not hear about for a short while. So let's see.
No, listen, it's frustrating.
It is very.
It's frustrating. It's losing games like that is really poor.
We don't mind.
You've got
games,
a good
Maz.
off. No, you'll get beat. But
That happens.
Not going to go all season, are we? But when 4 of the last 6 games
Home form
at
is
home
really
like that.
acute.
Take Arsenal out of it. That was a tight game, and they're the best in the league and all that. But the other 3 defeats, Spurs were crap and done us comfortably. Newcastle were good on the day, but we contributed massively and were 4.
That was very similar to yesterday.
And yesterday they were good, but we made it easy for them, and that's not good.
But then you put on top of that the games we didn't lose: Palace, Villa, West Ham. You can almost say, when have we really turned up proper at home?
It's been 2 home games where we've been. Brighton was great for the occasion, but lest we forget,
we got out of jail on that
They missed a couple of sitters
and a penalty.
and missed a penalty. Fulham, we were dominant.
Yes.
And deserved that. And Forest, we were dominant and deserved that.
And
that's what Wednesday's got to be.
They're the 2, aren't
Wednesday's got to be front foot, straight at them. Don't let them settle. Take your chances when they come along and put them to the sword and rebuild that. It's got to be. Michael Woods, hello lads, been a while since I caught you live. Happy New Year and all that. I really felt sorry for Dibbling last night, playing with people in front of him, someone behind them where none of them know their position.
True.
To add to that, the midfield just looks like they run all over the pitch. Really poor from Moyes not to play the same back 4. At least Patterson would have supported him. Charlie says watching McNeil chase back after one of their players was laughable. He's a 2-legged donkey.
Treacle. Treacle.
Joe says I'm a Moyes fan as well, but if he doesn't learn from those 2 obvious mistakes within that starting lineup, putting Keane in twice when he wasn't fit, I'll have to start having doubts. Barry says yesterday was on Moyes. McNeil should never ever wear the shirt again, even before yesterday. And what was Roll doing for their 4th? The ball in was terrible and the attitude after it, half-assed jog. Steve says, honestly, I'm still raging about the state of the ground yesterday. The players' performance was just a cherry on the top. We've been struggling for an atmosphere in the stadium all season, and the club can't even do the basics. It was embarrassing. Knew what kind of game we were in for by them sirens alone. Surely this is quick win stuff for the club.
It is. I'm sorry, Baz, but it exhibits lack of accountability and lack of leadership. It really does. And it's disappointing. And if we understood why, I mean, you talk about, I can't explain why the manager picked what he picked. We could have just been slagging him off for an hour and there's very, very good, but we don't know. But on the other stuff, everything, it all comes to me and my little soundbite of we seem still to be comfortable at doing tomorrow what we should have done yesterday. Simple as that. Now, if that means there's middle-ranking people who aren't getting the support from the people up further up the ladder, they need to bitch and whinge and say, I need help as well. Empower me or give the investment here or whatever it might be.
Bars in the South Stand again.
Yeah.
Shut them.
Because we got beat.
Yeah.
So when you win, James, what am I up?
Yeah.
So when you win games, right, this is genuine, right, so when we win games, right, I'm allowed to do my aftermatch in my seat without anybody saying anything to me for at least 10 minutes, right? When we lose, they're trying to get you out. You see, they're trying to get me
Trying to get me out.
trying to get me out, right? And then when you go downstairs, they shut the bars and they only leave one open, which is at the far end. And the stewards are milling about as in like, shouldn't you be going?
They do a high-vis wall.
The Liverpool game was on, right? So there's loads of people down there.
Yeah.
People are cheering Forest, Fulham equalised, and they're shutting bars. And it's like, again, what are you doing? Like, what's this thing of
No
like,
consistency.
when Everton lose, you's one is all gone. I said to the steward, was like, I said, where have you got to go? And she's like, I want to go home. I went, you're in Wick.
Yeah.
I was like, I wasn't being like a knob at the bar. I was like, but you're in Wick. So it's not like the minute we all leave, you can go home. And just on the general state of the stadium, because I know we've talked about this loads, but like the atmosphere is terrible. But I have to say, right, the fan base has to take massive accountability. This thing of fucking off just because we're getting beat is a disgrace. And I've got no issue saying it. When we're 3-0 down and the team needs you, and people just go downstairs or just got off, that's fucking entitlement at its highest. When did we become that fan base? When did we become? We laugh at a fan base not far from here. They would never get off at 3-0 because they expect their team to come back. Honestly, the entitlement of our fan base has become an absolute joke. And I'm not like pointing fingers at like new people or whatever, but this entitlement to get off, go downstairs, go home is honestly, it's a disgrace, and it's happened. And I pointed this out when we beat Forest 3-0, and people are like, "Wow, like so we're winning games 3-0, and people are getting off. Okay, we're getting beat 3-0." This entitlement to get off is honestly farcical. And I know there's issues with the stadium. I know it was cold. I know it was snowing. Look, fucking what? It's football.
Well, don't go.
Don't go to the game. Give your tickets to other people.
Don't go.
You know, what you want to go? Go outside and get.
I'll be honest, right?
Go outside, get an Instagram post.
I've seen this season them 4 home defeats, not Arsenal. Arsenal was tight and anything. But the other 3 games where we have been getting battered, the stadium like looks empty. And yet I can very rarely remember Goodison being empty.
No.
And I've sat there when we were 6-0 down against Arsenal at home, and it wasn't as empty as that. And I don't know where this...
It's just an entitlement. It's an entitlement because we've got this new stadium that people feel like, oh, this is not our stadium, so we can get off. And it's how is it ever going to be?
Stadium.
How is it ever going to be our stadium, right? That you feel at home if the fella next to you is getting off and you're like, where do you think you're going? Because that's the way I look at it. I look at it thinking, where do you think you're going? We're all in this together, and we should all be there at the end. And I've always felt that, and I'll never change. And I don't give a monkeys what anyone thinks or says about me about getting off or
opinion.
No, I know, but it's entitlement though of getting off early, or we'll go downstairs. Why? Sit, you've paid money and watch your team and back them. Because, do you know what? At 3-1, for 5 minutes there,
they were on the ropes.
if we'd got to go, and you were right before, the dark arts by Brentford, which I've got no issue with, by the way. That's on the referee, not on Brentford. They were absolutely superb, the way they broke up the game yesterday. But if we'd managed to just sneak one at 3-2, then who knows? There's still 20 minutes left.
We need another one now, I'm thinking. If we get another one on like 85, it'll be 3-3. Yeah. If we'd have got it, if we'd have kept it to 3-1, going into the last sort of 10 minutes where we're on the front foot, what happened was we just dropped that incentive. But the referee helped them, didn't he?
And don't get me wrong, right? The club, this is on the club as well because of the way they've done the tickets this season and the way that they've done the way they fleece people for the official things so you can't pass your tickets to people. That's part of the problem.
Haven't Spurs just changed this?
Yeah, that's part of the problem as well.
We copy everything.
The fleecing fans, and it is a part of it. Part of it is also because of the concourses, because people can't go down and get a drink. People are having to go down on 35 minutes. All this has to be changed. All of it has to be sorted because it all plays its part. The transport, we say it every week, but no one seems to be listening because I know that because as I said, I go after the game, I stick around for 20-25 minutes and the way it changes whether we win or whether we lose is farcical. People want to stick around and have a drink, regardless of whether we win or whether we lose. And you're being pushed out the stadium like you're doing something wrong, like it used to be at Goodison. And I used to cry about it at Goodison as well, because I used to think it was an absolute disgrace. I went for a run on Saturday night and I bumped into someone that we met in Atlanta. And I was thinking, they've come all the way from Atlanta. The last time we seen it was roasting hot, lovely. And now we're seeing them into freezing cold. And they want to stick around, they want to get pictures because it might be their one chance. And they're being told to get out the ground or pushed out the ground. Everton need to sort themselves out on all of this because the stadium, I think, so far has been farcical from top to bottom. The whole way it's been done, from club view to seat unique to what we paid for, that I don't think what we paid for we get anywhere near what we paid for in the lounges. I think it's been farcical so far, and as John said, I don't think there's been any accountability. I don't think anyone's held their hands up because it does play a general part in the whole sense of being there and the atmosphere. The atmosphere is that, I've been saying it for weeks, I'm not sugarcoating it, the atmosphere is the worst I've ever known it to be at Everton, and it's the worst of lots and lots of grounds. And it needs to be sorted. It needs to be tackled, though. We're just letting it go on. We're just letting it go on. And there has to be a little bit of self-policing, I think, amongst fans as well, and that'll take a little bit of time. But there's so many things that need to be fixed, and it's like, oh no, we'll just throw another mural up within the ground. That seems to solve it. No, it doesn't solve it. It needs to be sorted. We need to understand what's going on within our ground, what's going on within our fan base. I think you need to get rid of loads of seat walk-ups and just give them to season tickets, because I think when there's a season ticket, more season tickets, I actually think there's more accountability in the fan base then, because people know they're going to the game every single game. But you know, that's just my opinion. But there is far too much entitlement in this fan base at the moment, far too much when it comes to going to that ground.
Tazul says, and people wanted 60,000.
Well, and the point
I don't
being,
think that's got
well, those people don't stay and get off. It cost us loads of empty seats. No, I'm just saying, I'm just leaving.
Well, we should have built a 40,000 seater stadium then to make sure it was always full. Or maybe then they'd still get off. You know what I mean? That's a daft thing to say, to be honest, in my view. But
Julie K says, anybody who leaves early should have to scan their ticket on the way out, and then the ticket should be given away for the following game.
Doesn't stop people going to the concourse areas.
I don't know. I mean, no point going. I mean, I'll be honest, the concourse area by me is fine for getting drinks and all that. And that seems to have been sorted, but it's shut.
Yeah,
it's shut.
By me, it's shut.
So you go out and it's shut. And it's freezing, and you can't leave because there's not enough holes in the wall. So there's just queues to get out the bleeding thing. And then you're walking along, shuffling along Regent Road because there's no attempt to stagger anyone leaving. It's crap. It is crap. It's really, like, yesterday I was just like, I don't know whether I can be arsed with this.
But that's it.
Because the
though, isn't it?
team's crap
Yeah, but the
when
thing
they put in
about
a
it is, though,
performance like
about
that.
it, right? If the ground is people should just not go then. Don't go. If the ground's miles, what are you missing? So why are you missing the last 10 minutes of a game?
No, but I'm saying...
No, not about you. I'm just saying that, like...
No, but the club should be... Why is there no bars open afterwards? Why can't I get a coffee after the game to stand around for 15 minutes or 20 minutes just to let people...
I'll tell you if you like.
Just move away a little bit.
Because the club don't think it's down to them.
But it is.
That's Aramark, mate. You know, and Aramark do a simple calculation. We have so many staff here, we sell so much stuff, that's not enough, close.
But they haven't got a clue whether they'd sell stuff afterwards because they've not tried it now.
No, but that's my point.
Yeah, but
Who at the football clubs accountable, we use, you know, non-footballing terminology, for the customer experience? Because that person needs to raise the ante, because it's not good enough.
No. All right,
Like, they listen to what Ped says,
Yep.
and they go, oh, okay. What, really? You mean if the bars were open, people would use them? Yeah.
It is. I find it. Mark says you think O'Brien should have been sent off. But what?
Don't know, what for?
What for, Mark? Don't know.
I don't know.
Adam says the lower south supposed to be entirely season ticket holders in the atmosphere section, and they all just sit there and do nothing. Not even any anger when the second or third went in. Felt like I was the only one who was asked. And G says hundreds of our fans getting off at 2-0. What's all that about? You can't tell people to stay, can you?
No.
You know, people are going to do what they do. But didn't they? I mean, I can't even remember the times they scored the second and third, but surely it was like 55, 60?
I'm doing exactly what you've just done. I'm looking. Collins scored after 50 minutes.
50, was it?
And then 51, Thiago.
So
So the idea that everyone's going, or this chap, wherever he's sat, can see people streaming out, it's just after half time, isn't it? So it's not like...
it's the pain in the arse to get there, and it's freezing. So why are you getting off with that long left?
Mad. Maybe you
But
got
again,
kids with
listen,
you.
everyone's got their own things, haven't they? I just find it mad. But, yeah. Adam says, lads, I just need a quick rant. It's been building for the
Go
last
for
few
it, mate.
weeks. Firstly, we don't need to be calling for Moyes' head every time we lose. Just like we're not suddenly a European side every time we win. Doesn't have to be one extreme or the other. Secondly, Michalenko and McNeil just aren't good enough. And this O'Brien at right-back experiment needs binning. But my biggest gripe is from the stands about players being lazy because they're not solo pressing like a madman. Of course, we want a high-intensity pressing side, but it has to be done as a unit, not one bloke going on a solo mission. People near me are constantly moaning at players for not pressing, but if you press on your own, you leave massive gaps. Years ago, people used to applaud Gordon for sprinting from left to right, chasing everyone down because he was showing effort. But all that happened as he got passed around. Call and play.
Dwight used to do that.
Well, that's McNeil's trick, isn't it? Call and play is lazy because they don't press. A short goal kick does my head in. It's clearly tactical instruction to sit off. Yeah, it is pointless. If one player's going, it's pointless.
Yeah.
Michael said it was on commentary yesterday. The new pitch is the same width as Goodison, but it's 5 metres longer.
It is longer, yeah.
Steve P says, I genuinely can't believe there's people want Moyes gone. Some of our fans are just strange. Are we forgetting we literally can't function as a club without him? People need to remember the nightmare of the last 8 years, that what we've just endured. Look at the state of our current team. Get in better players and we'll be in Europe within a year. I bet my life on it. And he doesn't sometimes burn my head out with baffling decisions that we can all seem to see. But every manager's like that. Even Ancelotti, one of the top 3 managers of all time, is like that.
See, there's a couple of things in that, right? Is that chap basically saying we'll be in Europe in the season that starts in 27?
If we give Moyes the players.
Yeah, he might not even be here by then, right? And I also, as an opinion, right, do not agree in the slightest that this football club cannot function without a single individual called David Moyes.
It's hard to disagree when you see what went on, though, without him.
Well, that is all in the space of comparing the current incumbent in any role with someone who was absolutely effing shit at it previously. the measure should be, what should we be?
Yeah, but we haven't been. You can only go by evidence, can't you? That's how I do. I just do it by evidence.
Don't look backwards.
I know, but that's evidence.
Don't make somebody a superstar just because they're performing better than someone
No, but that's it.
who everyone acknowledged was as bad a manager as we've ever had.
What I would do, how I look at David Moyes is he's had sort of like 12 seasons if you include the year.
Yeah.
And for most of them, Everton have been fighting for the European, up the top end of the league. Therefore, then away from that, we've been in Europe twice.
Yeah.
So for me, he is infinitely better than any of the other managers we've had, bar Ancelotti, but...
No, sorry, I'm not disputing
No,
that.
but I think that's what Steve's saying.
Yeah, but if you put
People are looking to just... I heard it, I see it on my thing, and when we won the other day at Forest, it was we're definitely getting Europe. And then yesterday I seen getting rid of
all
him.
that
He's
I
not
agree
good
with.
enough, he's
That-
not good
that
enough.
binary
Who we
behaviour.
getting then? Don't say
Yeah,
Glasner. We're a Palace. Palace are shite. Don't, they're not like amazing, are they? I really like Iriola. Bournemouth are below Everton.
Yeah.
So,
Has everyone's opinion of Thomas Frank gone down or up since he got to top?
down.
Exactly.
They're below us, actually. The money,
This
180
is a
million
very,
spent on a
very
good
big
manager.
football club, and there's probably a limited number of managers who you could trust
who could
to
carry
cope with it. And Moisey's one of those. I'm just saying that the idea that it's the same binary behaviour. We cannot function without this man. If this man believes that or hears that, or the owners hear it, or the chief exec hears it, and they think, oh my goodness, this fellow, we've got to let him do what he... No. Every single role in this organisation has to be one that you're trying to improve upon. And we've talked on the sofa more than once. The disappointing thing right now is David Moyes did more than enough in our collective, just me and you, and I guess these two guys agree as well, to demand squad strengthening in January, but with a time on it as well. Don't give me them all on the last bloody day, by which time we could have felt foul of a gap. Just the point you were making before, got to beat Wolves, blah, blah, blah. Could be out the FA Cup. Simply because we're one or two injuries or a little bit of a virus away from playing kids.
Yeah.
Right?
But that's the level.
Oh, yeah. Tomorrow, all these injured players are coming back. Oh, they have... But if tomorrow's the day after you just got knocked out of the FA Cup, it's irrelevant. You know what I mean? So, and finishing a season strong is good, contractually. But if you win with 5 or 6 wins on the bounce, fantastic. But if you still finish 12th, not fantastic. You want those 5 or 6 wins to take you into Europe, don't
We
you?
could, like I said, we finished the week
Yeah.
31 points, and in the next round of the cup, which would be great, but that's what we've got to.
Yeah, but all these things that we're bitching about won't be fixed by winning the next 2 games. They just dampen down the noise, that's all. Which is why all the stuff Ped was talking about, that's a continuous process. That requires continuous improvement. That's not, let's do it in the summer. Let's do... Again, I'm standing literally with blokes going, look at all the space in here, but you can't have a pee. You know what I mean? People need to think that today is the day you've got to do stuff, not tomorrow.
Keithy, last couple.
That's
Keithy
my rant anyway.
says, I know Moyes is getting a lot of stick for changing the winning side, but putting Keane back into central defence is not unusual. Plus, Patterson's rusty and not fit. Whereas, okay, I totally dispute that first sentence, but fine. It was also just wasn't the defence to blame. Both Tim and Garner were awful. James Garner was not awful yesterday, and his stats will tell you that. Not to mention Dibbling, who was poor. Dibbling was poor. I think some perspective balance is needed when putting it all on Moyes.
I don't think we did put it all on Moyes.
Not all on Moyes.
We put it on the players.
The players' fault.
Yeah.
David Moyes just didn't help. Also, a lot of blame on the subs. Yet we started playing much better. We looked more threatening and scored 2 goals.
I've not heard any blame on the subs.
I haven't heard any blame on the subs.
One of them scored, so...
But I dispute we played better.
No, it's just...
You can see the 3 goals.
Yeah.
We scored 2. We still lost the game if it's at half time, wouldn't we? Georgie said, hey, it's because we could be 3 points off 4, but now we're looking behind ourselves again. Really thought Moyes would have learned from Newcastle. Keane needs legging in general. Always coming out to the halfway line. No chance O'Brien gets done like that. No.
Are you looking behind?
Yeah, I'm always looking behind.
Yeah. Okay.
Everton Viking says they need to get rid of the nonsense membership scheme and have physical cards back. It's ridiculous greed and it's leaving empty seats. Yeah. Boxy says, well said, Ped, I won't ever leave early. got to be in there. The good times and the bad times. We're
Ditto.
all in it together. Everton Viking says £9.90 for a pie and water is laughable.
Come to away games, people. It's a lot more entertaining and we win more often.
Yeah. But, look, we'll be back for the final word later. We'll go through that and then got to turn to Wolves then, haven't we? That's what you do. It's football. You've got the opportunity a few days later to put it right. And that's what we can do. You know, we win on Wednesday. Things will feel a lot better again, won't they?
As an absolute minimum, if we beat Wolves, when we beat Wolves, we'll all feel better.
That's it, isn't
All those challenges we spent an hour and a bit talking about will still be there, but we'll have won a
it? We'll
football
feel
match.
better and we'll be in the 30s.
And then we can do what you want, play really early the next game, so you can get it behind you.
Get it done, yeah.
Yeah, win that one, and then put your feet up.
That's
and
if it's on. Heavy snow forecast for the
Is there?
whole week.
Is there?
For the foreseeable, according to the Northwest app, yeah. So, who knows? Maybe it'd be better off getting both games called off. Gives us more chance to get players fit and sign some.
Well, Senegal getting knocked out.
Senegal out.
Quarter-final.
Getting beat, weren't they, on Saturday?
Yeah.
For a bit. I was thinking,
It was close to 2-0 as
this
well.
was it. And then he went and won. Exile says, just don't play Keane at centre-back and we will win.
Correct.
But listen, just let the lad be fit is the first thing. Give him at least half a chance by letting him be fit. But let's just beat Wolves. Let's beat Wolves. Right. Thank you everyone who's joined us for our Monday rant, moan, cathartic session. Like I said, we'll be back for the final word later. Take it easy. See you later.
Take care.